Hello everyone. So today on behalf of my group, I'll be talking about Parmenides in Greece and Zoroaster, who is Iranian spiritual founder. And moving on to the next slide. Parmenides was born in the Greek colony of Ilia. He was born to a wealthy and illustrious family, and his single known work, whose original title is unknown, is often referred to as On Nature. So Parmenides was born in Greek, and then he was born in the colony of Ilia, where he was born to a rich and illustrious family, which later on proves why he has a broad way of thinking and the philosophical things that he actually believes in. And then he is known to have existed between 500 BCE, and he has a poem known as On Nature, which we'll be looking about in the future. So there are some beliefs of Parmenides as the liberal thinker. So he believed that nothing changes at all, contradicting Heraclitus' beliefs. So there was another liberal thinker known as Heraclitus during that time, and Heraclitus had that philosophy that everything will change at some point. But Parmenides believed the contradicting point. He believed that nothing changes at all and everything around us is an illusion, which is reflected in the second point, that the physical world is an illusion. And then the third point says that something has to exist if we inquire about it. So now, whilst telling that the physical world is an illusion, he believed that whatever we are seeing right now is just an illusion, and we are just the projection of a matrix that has been frozen in time. So that matrix actually comes from a cosmic ball in the universe, which is just frozen in time, and it just projects that illusion. So whatever we are thinking right now, whatever we are seeing right now, it's an illusion. And then his third point, something has to exist if we inquire about it. It just tells us that even if it is an idea, it does not exist in real life, it has to exist somehow, because we can inquire about that idea because we somehow believe that it exists. So next slide. So the third point is reflected in his work On Nature. So there's the poem and the way of truth and the way of opinion. So the poem takes us through his journey to the underworld. So as we know, the ancient Greek has been actually influenced by the mythology and all. So in that poem, the poem is actually the introduction to the poem, where he says that on a fine day he is taken to the underworld by the god of the sun, and then that when he reaches to the underworld, he sees that there is no day and night. And then in the way of truth, we see that he meets an unnamed goddess who actually influences his way of thinking. So it was that unnamed goddess which the reason why we get to know that he believes that something has to exist if we inquire about it. And the way of opinion talks about the different opinions. It usually tells us that there is two ways of thinking, the rigid logic and the flexible logic. So let's just move on from the monkey measuring our good and bad deeds, because I think I'll end up talking about it in the whole period. So likewise, in Zoroastrianism, there is a belief that there will be a weighing scale where after our death, our good deeds and bad deeds will be measured, and then we will be sent to the realm of heaven, where the Ahura Mazda resides if we have more good deeds done, and we will be sent to hell if more bad deeds are done. So number 4, they believe in the apocalypse. So Buddhism actually also believes in it, because there is Buddhism belief that one day there will be more than one sun in the sky, and clouds will follow and the world will end. And likewise, Zoroastrianism also believes in the apocalypse. So they believe that one day all the evil spread by the animal Manu will be gone by one of the descendants of Ahura Mazda, which will be born in this world. And when he is born, the world will be ending, the droughts will be the droughts will fall on us, and then there will be storms, and then destruction of things will take place, which will eventually lead to the end of the world. But that end of the world does not mean that the beings will all die. The good beings, the ones who had done good work, will then eventually go to heaven, and the ones that did bad will go to hell. And then the world will be renewed, and another new world like ours will be formed again after 1,000,000 years. And they also believed in Asha, the forces of good. So Asha is actually connected to the fire, which is considered pure and representation of truth. So Zoroastrianism have the celebration of fire festivals, but it does not mean that they actually worship the fire. They believe in fire, that the fire will purify, and the fire represents the truth. And then the Asha, the forces of good, they believe that the universe is made up of different types of forces, and they believe in the forces of good. And with that belief of forces of good, they also follow the threefold paths: good deed, good speech, and good thoughts. And Zoroastrianism actually follows the threefold path, and then they actually have the belief that if they celebrate the fires, then all the bad dreams, all their sins will be washed off. And moreover, one special thing about them is when the person dies, they don't actually bury the person or burn the person or cremate their ashes like we Buddhists do or the Christians do. They actually leave the body of the person openly for the vultures to feed, because they believe that it will be the last good deed done by that person, feeding the vultures and feeding those insects and bacteria that actually do not have food. And it actually is believed that when they keep the person's body in the open, their bad sins and their bad evil forces will be gone from their body. That's it for the presentation.